Cancer is one of the most feared words in the world. It can touch anyone, regardless of age, background, or lifestyle. But while many factors that lead to cancer are out of anyone's control, there's one major area where people do have power: what goes on their plate. Nutrition may not be a magic shield, but it plays a huge role in lowering the risk of cancer and helping the body function at its best. Let's start with the basics. Cancer doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow process, often building over many years. The body is constantly growing new cells and getting rid of old or damaged ones. But sometimes things go wrong. Damaged cells start to grow too quickly, avoid being destroyed, and eventually turn into tumors. The immune system usually catches most of these problems, but certain habits, like smoking, a poor diet, or too much alcohol, can overload the system and let abnormal cells slip through. Here's where nutrition steps in. The foods people eat every day can either support their body's defense system or wear it down. For example, a diet high in ultra-processed food, sugary snacks, or red and processed meats may quietly fuel inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which are linked to cancer. On the other hand, a diet rich in colorful fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and plant-based compounds can help the body repair, protect, and fight back. Scientists have studied diets across the world to find out why some populations have lower rates of cancer. One standout example is the Mediterranean diet. This way of eating, common in parts of Italy, Greece, and Spain, includes lots of vegetables, legumes, nuts, fish, olive oil, whole grains, and very little red meat or processed food. People who follow this diet tend to have fewer cases of cancer, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. It's not magic. It's just real food, eaten in balance day after day. One key reason the Mediterranean diet helps is that it's full of antioxidants. These are natural compounds found in plants that protect the body from damage. Imagine the body like a busy kitchen, with sparks flying as it cooks up energy. Antioxidants are like the fire extinguisher, stopping sparks before they cause real damage. Foods like berries, leafy greens, citrus fruits, green tea, and even coffee are loaded with these protectors. Another important group is fiber-rich foods. Fiber doesn't just help with digestion. It actually plays a role in reducing cancer risk, especially colon cancer. It helps move things along in the gut, removing waste and potential toxins more efficiently. Whole grains, beans, fruits, and vegetables are all great sources. In short, fiber keeps the gut clean and helps the body stay in balance. Inflammation is another quiet troublemaker. While it's a normal immune response when someone is hurt or sick, long-term inflammation, triggered by stress, poor diet, or chronic illness, can turn into a danger zone. Some foods make it worse, like deep-fried meals, refined sugar, and soda. Others help calm things down. Turmeric, ginger, green vegetables, olive oil, nuts, and fatty fish like salmon. A few foods deserve special mention because of their cancer-fighting potential. Garlic and onions, for example, contain sulfur compounds that have been shown to slow the growth of certain types of tumors in lab studies. Broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts, part of the cruciferous vegetable family, are rich in compounds that help the body get rid of toxins and may protect against hormone-related cancers like breast and prostate cancer. There's also growing interest in mushrooms, like shiitake or oyster mushrooms, which contain compounds that support the immune system. And let's not forget berries, which are packed with plant chemicals that can reduce oxidative stress, a key contributor to cancer growth. But while adding good foods is important, cutting back on harmful ones is just as crucial. Red meat, and especially processed meats, like bacon, sausage, and deli meats, are linked with higher risks of colon and stomach cancers. That doesn't mean never eating a steak again, but balance is key. Experts suggest keeping red meat to small portions and eating it only a few times a week, if at all. Processed meats, though, are best avoided altogether. Sugar is another tricky one. Cancer cells, like all cells, use sugar for energy. But the problem isn't sugar itself, it's the overload. Diets high in added sugar can lead to obesity, diabetes, and insulin resistance, all of which increase cancer risk. The best bet is to cut back on sweets, sugary drinks, and processed snacks, and get natural sweetness from fruits instead. What about alcohol? The evidence here is very clear. Even small amounts of alcohol raise the risk of several types of cancer, especially breast, liver, mouth, and colon cancers. The safest choice is no alcohol at all. If someone does drink, it's best to limit it as much as possible, no more than one drink a day, and not every day. Then there's the debate around organic versus conventional produce. While it's true that organic foods avoid synthetic pesticides, Large studies have found no consistent difference in cancer risk between people who eat organic and those who don't. What matters most is eating enough fruits and vegetables, regardless of how they were grown. It's also important to mention that no single food or supplement can cure cancer. There are plenty of stories online promising miracle results from eating one special fruit or herb, but cancer is complex, and treating it requires medical care, not just green smoothies or exotic berries. That said, healthy food can support treatment, boost energy, improve mood, and help the body handle the side effects of chemotherapy or radiation. Equally important is how people eat, not just what they eat. Rushed meals, mindless snacking, or eating out of stress can lead to poor digestion and worse food choices. Slowing down, cooking more at home, eating with others, all these habits are linked to better health. And here's something often overlooked: the connection between sleep, movement, and diet. A great meal plan means little if someone sleeps poorly, never exercises, or lives under constant stress. The body works best when all these areas support each other. It's not about being perfect. It's about aiming for progress, one choice at a time. So what does a balanced, cancer-preventive plate actually look like? Imagine it like this. Half the plate should be filled with colorful vegetables, leafy greens, carrots, peppers, tomatoes, broccoli, and more. These are loaded with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and protective compounds. A quarter of the plate can include whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, or oats, or healthy starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes. The final quarter could be a protein source, ideally plant-based like lentils or beans, or lean animal protein like fish or poultry. Add a small portion of healthy fats, like a drizzle of olive oil, a handful of nuts, or a few slices of avocado. This kind of plate gives the body what it needs to fight inflammation, repair cells, and reduce the chances of unhealthy changes taking root. It also helps keep weight in check, which is another major factor, since being overweight or obese is linked to at least 13 types of cancer. Now some might ask, what about dairy? The answer isn't black and white. Moderate dairy intake, especially from natural sources like plain yogurt or hard cheese, seems safe for most people. Some research suggests it may even lower the risk of colorectal cancer. But excess dairy, particularly highly processed products, may not be ideal. Like most things, moderation is key. When it comes to supplements, there's a lot of confusion. Many people turn to vitamin pills, powders, or herbal mixtures hoping they'll act like insurance against disease. But in most cases, food is better than pills. Unless there's a specific deficiency, supplements haven't been proven to lower cancer risk. And in some cases, high doses of certain vitamins may even increase it. For example, excess beta-carotene in smokers has been linked to a higher risk of lung cancer. The safest route is to get nutrients through real food, unless a doctor advises otherwise. Another popular question is, should people go vegan or vegetarian to prevent cancer? Plant-based diets can be very healthy, especially when they include a variety of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and grains. But going meat-free doesn't automatically mean cancer protection. French fries, processed soy burgers, and vegan cookies may be plant-based, but they're still junk food. The quality of the diet matters more than the label. What about fasting or special cancer diets? There's been buzz around things like intermittent fasting or ketogenic diets for cancer prevention. While some animal and lab studies suggest potential benefits, there's not enough strong evidence to recommend them for the general public. Extreme diets can also backfire by causing nutrient deficiencies or weight loss in people who don't need it. For cancer patients in treatment, restrictive diets can be dangerous unless carefully supervised. Instead of chasing trends, experts recommend sticking to the basics. Real food, eaten in a balanced, consistent way. Focusing on building healthy routines over time is more powerful than any crash diet or superfood. But none of this means people need to overhaul their entire kitchen overnight. In fact, trying to change everything at once often leads to failure. The smartest approach is gradual, 1 or 2 small changes at a time, swapping soda for water, adding a veggie to every meal, choosing fish instead of red meat once a week. These simple steps, repeated over time, can add up to major benefits. Even something as basic as drinking enough water matters. Hydration helps every cell function properly and supports digestion, detoxification, and energy levels, all important for staying strong and resilient. Social connections matter too. People who eat with others, family, friends, neighbors, often eat more slowly, make better food choices, and feel more satisfied. And emotional health is tied directly to physical health. Reducing stress, staying active, getting good sleep, These things amplify the positive effects of good nutrition. So in the end, it's not about fear, guilt, or perfection. It's about giving the body the tools it needs to do its job. Cancer can be complex and scary, but nutrition is one of the few areas where everyone has daily control. Every bite is either building up defenses or quietly chipping away at them. To wrap things up, here are some practical takeaways anyone can use starting today. Eat more vegetables. The more colors, the better. Choose whole grains over refined carbs. Limit processed meats and red meat. Cut back on sugar and sugary drinks. Go easy on alcohol or skip it entirely. Include healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, and seeds. Add garlic, onions, and cruciferous vegetables when cooking. Stay active, sleep well, and reduce stress wherever possible. Focus on consistency, not perfection. And remember, no single food will cure or prevent cancer, but a steady pattern of good choices can make a big difference over time. If this video helped make things a little clearer, it's time to take the next step. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts or your own experience with food and health. Subscribe to the channel to get more clear, honest health information. And don't forget to click the bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and take good care of your health, one meal at a time.